industrial design, it's like we're the closest thing you can get to being an inventor. And I really enjoy that because I've been very hands-on from the time I was a little kid. And when I found out this was a thing, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted to do. I just didn't know it existed.
Normally I'll tell people it's just like product design. It's also like problem solving. People come to you with a bunch of different problems and you just do your best to find the best solution for your client and for anyone who might be interacting with it.
What if it's like a
I'm Rich Britnell. I teach industrial design at Auburn, and I've been here for about 32 years.
So it'll be compatible. Does that make sense?
This is a 16-week project, and it's about as complicated of a project as you can do in 16 weeks. So I give them approximately 2.5 weeks to come up with a design. So they come in, they have kind of an idea, and they have to give a presentation of 3 different concepts they want to do, and we help them select one, and then it's pretty much, you start working on the guitar.
I kind of want to sand it down and like get it in there all the way.
I kept going on Pinterest and my feed was just a bunch of like transparent plastic GameCube controllers and GameCubes, and I was like, what if I did that as a guitar?
The guitar is called Glorious Evolution. The name comes from the TV show Arcane. The color shifting and all of that is where that idea came from. I loved how beautiful all those colors were, so I wanted something that mimicked all those colors.
My grandfather, he helped out with like Saturn V and a lot of those early rockets, and so this is actually inspired by the work that he did. He's the one who got me into guitar.
Rich was a huge help. I had him last semester and this semester, so I've had him for about a year. He'll go out of his way to help you, and he has a lot of connections, especially like he knows Keith, who is the head luthier at Gibson, which is crazy that he comes down here like once a month to help us make guitars, and then comes down for the show and shreds them and makes sure they work, which is really awesome.
Keith is the only reason that I have anything that can function at all. He sat me down, he helped me like learn how to set your neck. He's the guitar whiz.
My day job is I work at Gibson Guitars, research and development, master luthier, design engineering, manufacturing engineering, so guitars. Good question. So when I come here, there's a lot of challenges because there's a lot of inexperience. And I give them as much information on the front end on what the constraints are and where you need to go, but there's some liberties and some misunderstandings that kind of happen just out of natural progression of trying to comprehend what you're doing.
We have Gibson in Nashville. They give us just about anything we need. Wood, yeah, it could be like the maple toppers, the mahogany backers. They give us fretboards and necks that haven't been finished. And we also have another sponsor who's EMG from California, and they've been with us since the first year too. And they're just very gracious, and they'll give us whatever the students want as far as the pickups and what they specialize in.
You hit the ground running. Like we start CAD, we start research, we start, okay, what do you need? You need to send it to Gibson. You need to tell them everything you need. You need to tell EMG what materials you need. You need to go ahead and order anything that's going to take a while to get here. You need to start your first model. You need to get it on the print. It's very fast-paced. It starts to mellow out a little later, but right at that beginning, it's like, you got to figure this stuff out now or else you're going to be behind.
For me, it was a lot of like iterating with these different 3D prints for how I wanted all the pieces to swap out. And the last week was all spent just hoping that all the wiring worked out.
Sanding for weeks with all the cracks and the curves and the different surfaces on my guitar. Once we finished sanding, like I started priming, I started adding wood filler.
The last hurdle was closing it. So in the CAD, I designed bosses for the screws that would just close. I wanted to put heated inserts in, so when I put them in, using a soldering iron, they were misaligned, and it was the night before it was due. So I ended up having to drill these out, the heated inserts out, and then pour fast set epoxy in it, and then use wood screws. which it worked out. I mean, it's closed, and it plays, and I'm happy with it.
These go to these, right?
Yeah.
It was definitely one of those down to the wire sort of things where, yeah, like I said at the beginning, I was like, there's no way that we're going to need this much time to make this guitar. And then lo and behold, we needed every last second of it.
It was done the night before, like probably around 6, because I was on it. I really wanted to get it done. I really wanted it to be fully functioning and ready.
It was due at 8:30 a.m. and I finished around 6 a.m. I did not sleep that night.
Sometimes it comes in at the last minute, so you're wondering if they're actually going to make it. So I've never had anybody who hasn't come through with it. I'm proud of everybody who pulls it off. And everybody has their own struggles along the way. If you can design and build a guitar, a solid body, fully functional guitar in 15 weeks, other challenges are going to be very easy to handle for you.
What I love about this class is not just so much the guitars and the projects, it's the fact that no matter who you are, where you're from, you all have to work together on your own project. You have your own project. It's not everybody's working on one. So everybody's working on their own project. And when you have questions, you have a classroom resource that's right there. So now you're learning how to work together. You're learning how to express your frustrations. You're learning how to cope with each other's stress and anxiety, because there is some, especially when it gets down to the last month here. It's very rewarding when watching them overcome these obstacles that present themselves, obstacles that they've never had before.
Rich always likes to say, like, this studio takes a village, which is 1,000% true. Getting feedback from each other the entire semester, like, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, I need your opinion. Hey, I need your opinion. It was a great group to work with, for sure.
It absolutely would not have been possible if it wasn't for the fact that I got to do like collaborations with my classmates. And so like this stuff was helped made with my TA. This is based off of his guitar from last semester.
It was a long process. It was definitely a long process making the guitar, but it comes together really, really fast at the end, because it just feels like a bunch of pieces throughout the semester. And you're working on this piece, and then you're working on that piece. And then once Keith comes in and he starts helping you set the neck, it's like, oh my gosh, I have a guitar.
The word Frethaus is F-R-E-T-H-A-U-S. A fret is a common component of a guitar, F-R-E-T part of it, and the house, H-A-U-S, is kind of a reflection on the Bauhaus School of Design, which we have direct lineage to here at Auburn.
I had my grandpa come down, which was really cool. My grandpa was computer science, so he had a lot of questions about the inner workings of it and the Bluetooth, which was really fun to explain. And then seeing people look at the guitars was really cool. People like pointing at it and seeing like the charm on it, and it's like, oh, that's fun. It was like the exact response I wanted. It's always magical seeing all these things come together, because at the beginning of the semester they're drawings, and then halfway through it's a blank of wood, and now it's an actual piece. Because people always come in and ask, like, did you guys just modify a guitar, or how'd you do this? And we go, no, we got a blank of wood and used the CNC machine, and now we have a guitar, which is really cool.
I had a lot of mess ups with this guitar, but it's not over till it's over. And so, like, even if something seems like it's really hit the fan, if you just keep pushing at it, maybe put in a little bit of elbow grease, it can really come out in the end.
I call them, they're just a group of overachievers. It's just what they are. And I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Keeps your mind going.
It was a really fun project for me, and now I have to learn guitar because I can't have this displayed in my house and not know how to play at all.
This is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, okay, I know I'm only 22. I know I have more life to live, but it has exceeded my expectations in more ways than I can count. I really do love it here, and there's just no place I would rather be, hands down.